Hello everyone and welcome back to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah and today I have a bit of a tough love video that I'm hoping will inspire you to take further action on your decluttering goals, either the end of this calendar year or as you look forward to 2023, and trying to help you push through maybe some different mental blocks that are there, or just kind of speak the truth in terms of what I've seen through working on Abundantly Minimal all these years and having coaching calls with people, supporting people in my decluttering course, answering countless comments and emails. I've seen some different trends and truths kind of come to the surface and are fairly common struggles that many people face or misconceptions people have. And so I thought it'd be good to all in one place sort of just address these so hopefully they're not holding you back going forward. Let's jump right in. Minimalist truth number one is that the longer you wait to simplify, the worse it's going to be. Unfortunately, accumulation happens over time. Even just over the course of 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, multiple decades of accumulation only will make the decluttering process more challenging. Why do we accumulate more over time? Well, we continue to evolve and maybe look into new opportunities or new belongings. Maybe we upgrade what we have without dealing with the old version. Maybe we inherit other stuff from our parents or grandparents or, whatever the case is. Maybe we move in with a partner and suddenly we've got double of everything. Maybe you have kids and now you have all of the kids stuff that you didn't have from before. All of these different things gradually mean we will have more and more stuff. And the longer we wait to start, no matter what age you're at, it's going to be tougher. So I encourage you, it doesn't matter if you are, a young person getting out on your own, or you are an empty nester, or you are wanting to just simplify, at any step of the way. It's important that we take action sooner rather than later for an overall easier process. Truly, I can't emphasize how important this is. And even when I started my decluttering journey back in very late 2015, that set a foundation that my husband and I have been able to continue maintaining fairly effortlessly as we go. We have some periodic decluttering throughout the year. We continue to reflect about what matters to us and what doesn't. And then I feel like we're kind of set for life, maintaining that rather than just putting it off. So just, to encourage you that it's going to get worse. So do what you can now, do what you can in the short term to make it easier for yourself in the long term. Minimalist truth number two is don't buy more stuff if you can't handle your current stuff situation. Now, this one's very personal because over the last year we had some new neighbors move in, and I don't want to say they're hoarders because I haven't seen their apartment or their condo, but our garages are next to each other, and our garage fits our car, and we have a few other things like our tents and camping supplies in there, our trash can, garbage can, and theirs truly is floor to ceiling stuff, like even stuff like thrown in. And there was a period of about 2 weeks where they had placed probably a lot of online orders, and the lobby of our building, where there's 4 different units, was full of their stuff. They had about 8 or 9 packages, including some big ones that were like almost as tall as me, were just in the lobby for about 2 weeks. And I'm not someone who's like, hey, move your stuff, I'm very laid back overall, but it was certainly a bit annoying. It's like, okay, like if you're gonna order this stuff, you got to put it somewhere. And, that's just one example. I'm sure there are other people in a similar position. But in general, if you have a stuff problem, this is tough to say, but you really probably shouldn't be buying a whole lot more. Obviously, you may have different needs that come up, and in the case of a need, you're probably not going to let it sit out in a box for a couple of weeks. You'll probably deal with it right away. But the more we bring in, the harder it's going to be. So making those intentional choices, using up what we have. I've got a Use It Up challenge video I'll link below that can help maybe. These are important things to do. So I encourage you, if you're drowning in clutter, let's take a look at those shopping habits so we can prevent even more clutter from the space and save some money in the process. Minimalist truth number 3 is that most of your stuff will get less valuable over time. Sometimes we have a mental block where we think the longer we hold on to something, maybe it will become a collectible or it will become more valuable. But the truth is societal patterns are shifting, and the types of things that maybe were seen as collectible items are not actually so valuable anymore. For something to have value, it needs to be able to be purchased at whatever that cost is by someone else. And the honest truth is that, especially, due to a wide variety of factors, if you have been holding on to something or collecting something for a long time, younger generations may not really be interested in purchasing that. Or maybe other people also have all been collecting it, and there's not that supply-demand balance that is going to yield a positive result or a return in your favor. So while it might be tempting to think, oh, this is all going to be worth something, it might not be. The added layer here is, for something to be worth something, you actually have to put in the effort to sell it. If you don't give it a special focused effort of doing all the stuff to try to get it to sell, taking photos of it, listing it in the proper place or taking it to the proper place to get it sold and give it that one-on-one attention, it's probably not going to sell for maybe at all or for the value you think. Because if you've got all of this stuff left over, what is it going to be? An estate sale, a garage sale, people meandering through your things very quickly, just find what looks interesting. It's important that we realize this. And once you're able to kind of let go of the thought of, yes, all of this is valuable, you might realize it's easier to let go. And you can move through things without that financial guilt of, oh yes, this is going to be worth something. Minimalist truth number 4 is something I've mentioned several times on the channel, but I often get comments about how it's a very liberating idea, even though it's kind of sad on the surface. And minimalist truth number 4 is, most of our items will be trash one day, whether it happens in our own lifetime or down the road in the future. And as someone who really cares about sustainability and environmental issues, this really sucks to think about that everything, when you look around, will all be in the landfill at some point. But the truth we have to acknowledge here is that even if we choose not to throw something away in our lifetime, things break, things fall apart, things become obsolete, and different people and different time periods have different values. All of these factors mean that our stuff is not going to be used forever. I mean, I am a historian and love studying history, and the truth is most things from history break and get destroyed. That's why it's so important when there's a museum that they preserve select items. But people from those different time periods were using so much more than just the items that are in an exhibit. We only have little pieces and clues into that past, not all of their everyday belongings. Certainly not as much as people use today, but the idea here is that if you're holding on to something simply because you don't want to throw it away, stop doing that. Although there might be that mental block at first and you might feel guilty doing it, your home is not a landfill. So if there are things that are truly, broken or obsolete and they're not going to be of interest to you or anyone else, just throw it away or dispose of it however it should be disposed of if it's something a little bit abnormal. And the added little sub-bullet point I'll say is, if something's trash, don't donate it to Goodwill or one of those type of charities, because you're only making more work for them when they're sorting through items. If no one would actually buy it at one of these secondhand shops, just get rid of it. And ultimately, that can save a lot of time and give peace of mind. Minimalist truth number 5 is that true minimalism is not a style and it's not glamorous. Minimalist aesthetics, whether that's furniture or a wardrobe, anything like that, can be beautiful. I've fallen prey to it before. I think it can look really nice. But if you're just recreating your space or your wardrobe for an aesthetic, that's not actually minimalism. That's an aesthetic and a look or a trend, not actually paring down your possessions, making those intentional choices and all of that. Of course, it can be intentional, I suppose, if you are purchasing pieces secondhand or really strategically and over time building this and leading it to evolve into the look that you're wanting. But it's important to know that while it can appear trendy and fun, it's, I think, way bigger than that. And it's how you approach your whole life and all these different aspects in your life with intentionality and just being able to maintain that peace of mind, that peace of space in your home. And so to me, I know I've made a video about, expectations versus reality of different things in my space that definitely don't look cute or minimalist, but they are minimalist in the sense of how they have saved me money from not needing to go purchase the fancier option. They have been a very solid, intentional piece I've been able to maintain, for years and continue using. It's definitely something that's not just about the look. Minimalist truth number 6 is that while there are quick projects, there are no overall quick fixes when dealing with a lot of clutter. We can work on a project on a quick basis. We can break down an action step, a specific area, even a surface or a drawer, and work on that and tackle that in an afternoon. But we cannot completely transform and deal with all of our clutter in a very short window. It just doesn't work that way. I know in my early phases of doing my decluttering course, back when I started doing that in early 2019, I created a 12-week framework. But after going through the 12 weeks with my first group of testing students who were testing it out for me to make sure it worked, I realized that honestly, it's not a 12-week situation. While that would be great, get results fast. This is a lifestyle. This is a long-term journey that you're going to be on for a while, as long as it takes to go through these different areas. And so it's important that if someone's trying to, sell you on a quick fix, or in the case of, many different products, advertising, yes, if you purchase this tool, you're going to, magically solve all these problems. It's probably too good to be true. It probably won't happen. Or at the very least, maybe it happens for some who have a ton of time and energy to commit to a certain project or goal, but most of us have a lot to balance, whether it's different job factors, family factors, maybe different health challenges. These things all take away our time and energy to be able to focus on a goal and make progress. So it's just important to have a really healthy mindset. And that's where, for me, I think focusing on small projects, actionable steps, and being able to maintain those, maybe shift your habits a bit to help with maintenance, that matters more than being able to really go hard for however many days or weeks or in a month or something, and not being able to maintain what you did. Minimalist truth number 7 is that there may be some discomfort in the early phases in social settings when you're trying to declutter or adopt more of a minimalist lifestyle. The truth is, we live in a society that is very consumerist and maximalist, if you will. And unfortunately, a lot of people are hardwired to continue maintaining that, even if it's coming at a cost to their space, their sanity, their finances, all of the different things. And so whenever you're making a new change, it can feel super uncomfortable to have those conversations and bring it up. I always find it very weird, but some people take things very personally that don't actually directly affect them. If you're making a lifestyle change, sometimes people get a bit offended by that, which, seems a little immature to me. But with that in mind, the good news is, if we are able to, be very clear with these different goals, prioritize what matters to us and what our purpose is in this situation, and also, I think, practice grace, be the example, usually with time, these things become a lot better and a lot easier. And I can definitely say that is true. There's still little awkward moments that come up at this point, but when Jake and I have had the hard conversations with, let's say, extended family about some of our minimalist choices or any lifestyle choice, although there might have been some pushback or awkwardness at first, things are pretty good now. And now that it's been, several years since making these choices, the conversations are no longer awkward. We don't really have to bring these things up. Everyone's kind of on the same page of knowing, hey, this is our priority. We're not looking to go buy a bunch of random stuff, and we don't want to receive, countless gifts. Save your money. We don't need to participate in that, and it all works out. So I encourage you, even if it feels super uncomfortable, start planting those seeds, having those early conversations, and that is what will make it better over time. Our final minimalist truth of the day, number 8 here, is that you are the only one who can make a change in your life. You have to do the work if you are interested in living this lifestyle. As much as I wish I could say, hey, let's do this together. I'm coming over. Let's work through your stuff. It has to be led by you. You're the one who needs to go through it. You can pay someone to help you declutter. You can pay someone to help you set up an organization system. You can recruit other people to, do some of the physical labor, for instance, if they're helping you downsize, but you have to make the decisions. That is how you build the skills. You become a better declutterer over time. You continue to reflect and refine your thought process about different items. I think a great analogy when we think about decluttering is sort of like it's an onion with all the different layers. You might make a first pass through your home or different parts of your home and declutter things and be feeling great and have many items you're like, yeah, I would never declutter that. But as you continue to build up that decluttering muscle, you get more refined in your abilities to determine what is necessary and desired, and what is not. You'll continue going through different rounds of decluttering and you can let more go. I think we continue growing and evolving over time, and the items that we value and use continue to evolve in different seasons of life. So it's really important that you are building those skills yourself and that you are controlling what you can control. It sucks when you have maybe family members or a spouse or partner who's not on board with a minimalist journey. I feel like truly all you can do is focus on your own belongings at first. And I think over time, having those conversations, planting those seeds, working together, that can spread to other people and inspire action from others. But it really starts with you. And I think although that can be disappointing if you feel like you're alone in this process, I think it can also be empowering because you can choose to make a change starting right now, starting whenever, and you get to control that. Even if it's small, even if it's one thing a day, you say, you know what, I'm going to find one thing per day that I'm going to declutter, or I'm going to take 5 minutes, set it on a timer on my phone, and I'm going to look around and see what I can find. Little baby steps do work, and you have the power to change that. Whatever goal, it doesn't even have to be a decluttering goal. These things have to start from within. We have to prioritize that enough and believe that we can make a change in order to actually do it. So I do want to encourage you to, if this is something you've been wanting to do for a long time, now's the time. You can make changes even if they're small. It's helping you get to where you want to go in the future. So those were my minimalist truths. I'm sure maybe some of these did not resonate or you felt maybe a little bit called out for a certain thing. I hope that's not the case, but if that did happen, I encourage you to sit with those feelings and reflect. Sometimes if I'm consuming some content online and there's something that makes me feel a certain kind of way, I try to unpack it a bit. It's like, why do I feel that way? What is this bringing up within me? And usually I can apply that to make my life better and to finally break through some of the walls I had set up for myself and making it tougher to progress. I encourage you to prioritize that decluttering journey, whether that's a little bit of a push here at the end of the year, whether you're setting your sights on next year and what you're hoping to achieve there. I believe in you. You can do this. And if you are needing more minimalist-inspired content, I've got hundreds of videos about it. I'll leave a few here to get you started, and you can subscribe to the channel up here. I'll see you next time. Bye.